What's up, guys? AJ113 back with another video today. That's a bit of an anomaly, and the reason for the second video is that I don't want to talk about NHL. I don't want to talk about the gameplay trailers that were released earlier today. I've already talked about those. Go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. But I want to talk about the actual NHL today, and for those of you who are wondering, this is just going to be me talking about stuff that's going on in the NHL right now and about the draft. It's going to be a complete one take, no editing here, so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm going to stutter. I'm going to say and I'm probably going to eat a couple pretzels while we do it. So to get to business, Johnny Oduya is looking like he's going to sign with the Sabres or the Stars. What I like about Oduya and what I've always liked about Oduya is he's a solid defenseman, and now you could say that he's been a solid defenseman because he's been on the Blackhawks, and that can cover up a lot of his shortcomings. But the Blackhawks have never had a really excellent goalie. I don't love Corey Crawford at all. I don't think he's a star goalie. So I think the defense does, in a way, have to compensate for that. No, Oduya is 33, so he's not getting any younger. But for a good contract, he would be a good fit pretty much anywhere. Buffalo signing him is perfectly good. That's an immediate guy who can come in and help immediately and help for a couple of years, or could be traded away at the trade deadline for some assets, and could be a mentor for your younger defensemen. And we all know Buffalo's a pretty young team. Now for the Stars, Kari Lehtinen was terrible last year. He was really bad, nearly below a 900 save percentage. So while getting another defenseman doesn't immediately shore him up, the fact that Oduya has experience and he's a solid defenseman can help, combined with the fact that the Stars signed Antti Niemi to push Lehtinen for the first job. So really, anywhere Oduya goes, I think he'll be a good asset, whether that's in a mentor role or a playing role or being traded at the deadline for assets. Now that that's done, I think there are 4 players from the draft who could possibly play in the NHL this year. McDavid and Eichel. McDavid's going to be awesome. Eichel's going to be fantastic, but I think he'll have a bit of a slower start. Actually, no, I don't. No, I don't. Never scratch that. What I like about Eichel is he's physical, and that can translate well to the NHL. Obviously, McDavid is McDavid, or McJesus, as some would have him. But physicality is good to have immediately when you step in. And I compare it to a guy like Mitch Marner, who my Leafs drafted. He's got the skill, but he doesn't have the physicality, which is why he probably won't be in the NHL to start the season. I don't want him there, and I don't think the Leafs want him there. The other 2 guys are defensemen, Noah Hanifin, who I think could have gone 3rd overall, but Dylan Strome, I think many people thought he had the higher upside, so he was picked 3rd. But Hanifin's good. He's had a lot more experience than anyone else picked before him, except possibly Eichel. But he's good. He's a good big defenseman. He can start in the NHL right away and get the experience early on. And the last guy is Ivan Provorov, who in the mold of Hanifin is a big physical guy, defenseman who the Flyers can use immediately to help shore up their defense and hopefully get them to the playoffs. Okay, that's that. That's that for the draft. Moving on. One sec, pretzel time. On to the Ryan O'Reilly situation. That's really tough to talk about because that's a felony. You can't drive into a Tim Hortons and leave the scene. Now, obviously, that's putting it very bluntly. But really, it's tough to put it another way. Riley's, in my opinion, has been at the center of a lot of controversy during his career. I believe when he was with the Avalanche and he played in Europe during the lockout, he didn't come back. The Flames were going to pay him $2 million to go back to the Avalanche or something. But now driving into a Tim Hortons, or let's just call it an accident. Getting into an accident and accidents happen. Obviously, accidents happen. That's a fact of life. But take responsibility. Don't leave the scene, which he did at 4 a.m. in the morning in Ontario. So really, what you just signed a contract extension. You're the mentor for the 2nd overall pick in the NHL draft. and even beyond that, just be a role model for everyone. A lot of people look up to you. You're an NHL player. Just do the right thing. Um, so that's a bad situation. And I'm not even gonna talk about that anymore. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. Hope you enjoyed this first of the NHL talk. Might do this every week, every couple of weeks. We'll see. Another thing, send in clips for me to break down. With NHL 16 being in the final cycle of development, I don't want to brainstorm anything new during the time when it couldn't possibly be looked at. I'm going to save that for after NHL 16 is released. So I'd love to get a lot of clips that I can break down now, so I can pinpoint a lot of minute things that could possibly be fixed for NHL 16. Follow me on Twitter at AdamJones113. Check out the link down below. Like, subscribe, comment, and most of all, let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Adam Jones out with a pretzel.